into today. It's 7:24 Pacific for me right now here in California. Love. I am coming live today, inspired by a conversation, a rich conversation that I just had with a community member from the woman community. And it's all about, listen, melanin dominant women, baby. Oh, sweet love, sweet love. Ah, caught up in the rapture of love. Nothing else can compare. I don't think she said that. When I feel the magic of you. Oh, I'm telling you, love makes things happen. But hey, what do I know? Here's the thing. When you embark on any path, the path of wealth, we're going to get into abundance, capacity, and patterns. I should have put wealth here too, because this is linked ultimately to wealth. And so when you embark on any path of wealth, path of love, path of, unleashing your voice, the path of, right? It activates, you can appreciate the saying that I think some of you may have heard, where the parable was something like, when you ask God for patience, do you think he gives you patience? You guys heard this parable? When you ask God for grace, when you ask God for patience, do you think he gives you patience? When you ask God for insight, when you ask God for the message, do you think God gives you grace and gives you patience and gives you? No, the parable states that you get opportunities to demonstrate patience. You get opportunities to demonstrate grace. You get opportunities to demonstrate wealth, which is said, the same thing is said differently in, I think it was The Science of Getting Rich, which, by the way, you can get that for free on the internet right now. Just Google Science of Getting Rich and there's a free PDF. You may even be able to get it for free on Amazon. But I think it was in The Science of Getting Rich where he said most people mistake work or problems or hardship as don't go this way, or this is wrong, or this is failing. And really it's like, how do you get better? How do you learn and grow? Like, how, if you don't know something. So this topic of abundance that we're going to get deep into, I'm going to be here. The lighting probably going to change. The sun going to go down. Perhaps, listen, don't hold me to it. It just is a sense that I get. But I remain available, right? So if it says we're over in 35 minutes, we're over. If we're here for an hour and a half, we here, okay? So I'm also live here on YouTube. And just know, most of the time, not always, but most of the time when I'm live here on TikTok, if you can't stay here for the whole time, the replay is on my YouTube channel. And you can get to my YouTube channel by going up to my bio, and there's a logo up there that links you immediately to my YouTube channel, so you can come and look at replays if you can't be here when I'm here for a long time, okay? I see some comments. Let me come say hi. Ladybug said, you look like art. You have good eyes, darling. Thank you. This is someone else with a pretty long name says that that's just it. Sometimes you have to learn through failure. And when you're learning something that takes actual skill, Not something you can just regurgitate or when you and not only skill, but anyway, I feel like let that go. So um I dropped it. Y'all can go get the science of getting rich right now for free on the internet if wealth is a priority. So anyway, I'm incredibly grateful just to be alive. I was in the car, was it yesterday? Crying. I yell a lot. I command with my voice. I was gifted with this voice, and I command through word often when I am alone. So I was vocalizing gratitude yesterday in the car, and I was just crying. Thank you, thank you, thank you for what? Thank you for the opportunity to experience being in a body for this limited time that I will be here. Thank you so much for the opportunity to do life. Thank you for the opportunity to do it again one more time. Like Maya Angelou said, love again one more time, and just again one more time. Thank you for the opportunity to see again, to purify. Thank you for the opportunity to connect. Thank you for all the hardship. Thank you for forgiveness. Thank you for the ability to perceive and to refine my perceiving. Thank you for the opportunity to express, for the opportunity to even make a mistake. How about that? Can you be grateful for a mistake? I can make a mistake. What exactly is a mistake? Oh my God, I get to do that. And then I get to do it different. And then how about this? Thank you for the opportunity to take any opportunity, give it the meaning that I want to give it in order to give me the experience that I want to have in life. Thank you. Thank you for music, good music. Thank you for Tina Turner. Did anybody see that clip that has recently gone viral of Tina Turner dancing, girl, on them legs? Thank you. Thank you for Tina Turner. Thank you for this technology that allows me to be here with you right now. Where you at? I'm in California. Wait a minute. You on a device that got a camera where you can look at me where you are, assuming you're in the United States, wherever you are in the world. Where are you in Georgia? Where are you in New York? Where are you? Chicago? I'm in California. Girl, and you looking on this device in your hand that got a camera on it where you can look at me over here in a whole other state that you would have to drive to or take a train or a plane to get here. What? Thank you. Huh? Thank you for innovation. Thank you for being alive in 2024 and not 1524. What? Thank you. Thank you for all the things that I have perceived as problems. Thank you for me. Thank you for the ability to solve them. Thank you for play. Wait a minute. An airplane? What? Hold up. So I can drive to this place that they call an airport, and somebody was had the consciousness and the will. You know how much will it took to go through all the failures and the hardship to create a plane? So wait a minute, I can go to this thing that they call an airport and get on this metal giant thing that they call an airplane. And that thing works in a way that it lifts up off the ground and stays up there for hours at a time and crosses entire oceans and then drops me off on another continent in another, like, what? Can we be grateful for that? Hello? 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 Thank you for breasts. Wait a minute, hold on. When was the last time you really acknowledged the fact that you have, what is this? What is this? What is this? Ooh, those are heavy. What is in here? What? How do these things have so much impact on the male species? Isn't that interesting? Like what? You see? And we ain't even touched the tip. We ain't even begin to touch the tip of all the things we can be grateful for. How about this? Literally, nobody else in the world has your fingerprint. Wait, if I pluck a piece of hair from your head, It don't match nobody else on earth. Like, how do you feel about that? Wait, hold up. So I can lay down or not. I can have intercourse with this other person, and this thing called sperm ejaculates, enters my body, that when everything works itself out, a whole nother human can incubate here and come out. Like, do y'all think about how much you're grateful for? Like, what is possible? The creative ability, the recreation ability that you have. Does your attention live primarily there? Or does it live primarily on all the shit you hate? How Earth is ghetto and trash. How you sick of this shit. How niggas ain't shit. That's why you doing 4B. And why your kids need to move out. And why the government ain't shit. And why you ready to leave Earth. And why you mad at this and angry about that, and motherfuckers owe you and they need to apologize and fuck that shit. And which one? Because you have that ability too, honey. Wow, you can actually choose where you're going to direct your attention. Wait a minute, I can choose that? I don't have to focus on my lack of abundance. I don't have to focus on my not having the capacity. I don't have to focus on my patterns of fear and scarcity and hiding. I don't have to do that. I can actually direct my attention and keep it there and practice keeping it on where I actually want to go. What's going to bring me more fun, more travel, more good sex, the people I actually want in my life. Like, I can think something. I can think it. What thinking? How about that? We can think. We can think. Y'all so used to thinking, you take it for granted. You're so used to having cognitive ability that you take it for granted. You know, humans are the only species who think cognitively. And you choose to direct it toward niggas ain't shit and I'm mad at Earth and the government is fucked up and my mama should have raised me better. And you can think and direct your attention of your own will, your own. Okay, where do I actually want to live? Okay, where do I want to travel this summer? Wow, what would it be like to travel to Cannes, Capri? Wow. Then you can get on this thing called YouTube and actually look at videos of Capri across the freaking Atlantic Ocean. You can look at videos. You can see other people who have created videos on the island and the city and the town that you want to visit to prepare you for getting there, to help enlighten you. But honey, baby, sugar, darling. Caught up in the rapture of love. When I feel the magic of you. And then there's the dark side. There's the dark side. Because there's tending required. The brighter you get, the more you start to get rid of and learning how to tend to and move through your demonic side. Because I'm ready to kill a bitch. Because, bitch, I'm sick of working, bitch. Whatever it is. I'm sick of these kids. Or did y'all see that video, baby, of that black mom who went into her daughter's class and the teacher let her tell them boys, fuck with my daughter again. You can send your mama, your auntie, your cousins, anybody over 18 and they're going to catch these hands. Did y'all see that video? Girl, and the white teacher sat there and let that black mama tell them boys in that class, you bet not say no foul shit to my daughter on the internet. You bet not put hands. You bet not send no energy. You bet not do nothing to my daughter, or else y'all catching these hands. Send your mama, send your female cousins, send your aunts, send any woman in your life. They're going to catch these hands. Keep your hands off mine. Bullying off mine. Did y'all see that? So that's not the ideal example to make the point, but that's what came to mind about when you are walking around with a negativity that's blocking your capacity. So this is a great segue. Negativity, chronic negative thoughts, other people's voices that have left such an imprint in your energetic system. Your mom, pastor, some man somewhere, a teacher, your sister, sibling, anybody who told you for years something with the tone and intent of scarcity to tear you down. Or even a parent who unwittingly, they didn't mean to, but they unwittingly instilled scarcity and fear into you. Parents do this often without realizing it. And this is what I want to get at today. Okay, so this is shout out to, you know who you are if you're here. Hello, who I just got off a very rich call with that is inspiring today's live stream. By the way, my name is Naima. I'm the founder of the Academy for Womanhood, where we help women grow up and become unapologetic women who design their lives on true desires terms. My company was formalized in 2016, but I have been online serving, teaching, healing for 12 years. I published my first piece of content on YouTube in 2011. Hello. And so I'm in the business of helping women get free. Okay. Free, baby. And freedom ain't free. Oh, it ain't free. So shout out to my community member who has inspired today's live stream. So this was the topic of discussion, which you see on the screen: abundance, capacity, and patterns, and basically linking that to wealth. So a theme that has come up in the community is several women are working on getting their money up. And on the way to getting your money up, what you're always going to hit are these issues on the screen that you see right there. Mainly capacity and patterns. Okay, capacity and patterns. So I want to talk about that today, and I'm open to your questions. So if you have any questions about today's topic, you are welcome to put them here. And if I want to answer them, I will answer them. Okay, so welcome in. I see you. Green, Smart Libra, others who don't have names necessarily or just have letters that are difficult to put together. So I'm going to use myself as an example because in this conversation with my community member, I shared what I have experienced in the past to ask her if she has experienced the same as she has. So answer me this for all of you who are here now, even YouTube. Hello, YouTube. I know I look over here most of the time, and it's because I have the most engagement over here. So just know I'm very much paying attention to you and will answer your questions if you put them here while I'm live. Even if you're watching this as a replay, you can still put it in the comments, and I do come back to YouTube and check my comments. So just remember that, okay? So here is what happened to me on building my capacity, and I want to know if it happens or is happening with you, where you're working toward a goal, mainly a financial goal, something that's bigger than what you're used to, okay? And you start to feel heavy, like you literally have weights inside your body. Anybody here experience that? You feel heavy, you feel apathetic, you feel lethargic. It's like you feel like you can't even move, like there's something blocking. Anybody here deal with that? I'm gonna plug up my phone, my charger is low. And then another thing. So we're on position right now. The sun is hitting my phone and it's charged. When I did this the other day, the phone got turned off. It shut down my live stream because it got too hot. I feel it getting hot now. Hold on. I think that'll help, although they may change the lighting a bit. Welcome in. I see some more folks have come in on YouTube. Hey, hey. All right, let's look at this. Yes, and anxious. Yes, that happened yesterday, but it felt like it moved into being grounded. Good. Who else? I used to be. All right. Wait, huh? I used to always be anxious about it. Felt like lead in my whole body. Okay. So, okay, good. So, I brought that up. She said yes, that has happened to her many, many times. Now, this woman is a mom. She's coming to my Women in Italy retreat gathering. Um, my Women in Italy transformational experience. Um, and another thing I want to bring forward here, because it's really important to me to serve women who are of my likeness and of my sameness. Okay. And another question I'm curious about for those of you who are here is that I brought up to this beautiful woman is part of my challenge with manifesting or creating anything was that I didn't take earth serious. I didn't take the material world very seriously. So that was another thing. Okay. And this was sincere and it was personal for me. Okay. Does anybody here feel like that too? I've talked repeatedly about checking out as a teenager because I've never been normal, just the way normal life works. So there's a part of me that checked out tremendously, meaning like I'm here on earth physically, obviously in a body, but I didn't agree with just the way life worked, what was considered normal and what was expected, etc. So what that did is because I wasn't here all the way, I wasn't able to engage my faculties fully and take all my interactions, my thoughts, my creations seriously because there was a part of me that didn't even take being here seriously, which what that represents is lack of coherence when it comes time to be clear, straight, focused, unified so you can create clean, pure, fast, consistently. So does anybody here that used to be you and you resolved it or you're currently in this state? I'm curious. Okay, I see someone says, I absolutely don't take Earth serious. It's so ridiculous. I escape or detach. Yeah, I don't agree with how Earth works. But why are you laughing? But then you love Earth so much. Yeah, that's a lot of confusion right there. You're definitely not going to create well with that unless you actually like what you create as a result of the confusion. Um, see, currently 100% never realized that's what I did too when I was younger. Right. And this is why it's so important that each of you share your weird message. Katie said I can relate to that. This is why I'm so emphatic about women like us, right? I use the word weird, but I don't actually see it as weird. I know a lot of us feel weird because normal people call us weird. Normal people find a way to demonize us, make us wrong, instill doubt, etc. So we walk around feeling like an innate wrong thing, an innate weirdo, right? Because, you know, a lot of us come from powerful parents who never evolved, okay? And so they saw our light and squelched it, okay? So this is why it's so important that you see how you guys are like, wow, I never knew that. Yeah, that was me. Do you know other people who are talking like this or anything else you may see me talking about that nobody else seems to be talking about? This is my signature position experience. You need to share your signature position, which is why you need to come into whatever it is that I'm offering that speaks to you so you can unleash your voice. This is another theme that's in the community right now. Today, we had our womanhood initiation. That was it. unleashing my voice. That's why today's content even went up. The whole unleashing my voice, like speaking my truth or saying what I really want to say. Worried about a job, worried about exposing people, worried about how you're going to be perceived, worried about um, if people are not going to like it, if you're going to look crazy, all that. Like unleashing the voice. You're going to have to pay for that. Or like make the decision if you don't want to invest in something that's going to advance you. Okay. I'm recommending for everybody here now, heal your witch wound. I was on the phone with a woman yesterday morning who said there's a taboo exercise in there about unleashing the forbidden parts of you to get your fucking voice. Okay? What you're not supposed to say, what you would be unladylike for saying, what would disturb the boat, what could get you fired. But okay? Buy heal your fucking witch wound. Especially for those of you who are here all the fucking time, like, oh my God, oh my God. But you ain't moving. Just do the real thing. I'm talking about big shit. Like these are women who are coming to Italy. These are women who want to do big things. These are women who have messages that are in complete opposition to the status quo. I'm not talking about because you want to make a little extra money on the side. Open up your fucking eyes. Okay. So I'm talking about those of you who have been sent here by God. Okay. You're chosen. Okay. You know that you have a message that is in opposition to the status quo. Okay. You know that a lot of people are not going to like it, but your soul says, and the universe is saying, because that's another thing right there. Motherfuckers is being forced. Talking to a woman today, she's like, it's not necessarily that I want to, although there's a part of me that wants to. She's like, I'm being forced to. Then universe, this shit is being cleaned up. You niggas is either gonna be the discarded ones. I'm telling you, get the fucking divine order together. Motherfuckers is losing their shit. They dying. They killing themselves. You either gonna get the fuck with it. They're isolating. They're scared. They're latching on to things out of fear. Or you gonna grow the fuck up. Simple as that. So heal your witch wound. You can get it right now with the link in my bio. Heal your witch wound. So let's talk about this feeling heavy when you're going to create a new financial reality. And I'm going to elaborate. So the question I asked her, wait, hold on. First of all, I shared, all of you have a comfort zone financially right now. All of you. The current money you make, the current way you live, right? You have a comfort zone. And if something were to happen in your life where somehow some large amount of money that's more than you ever had dropped into your reality, most likely you would get rid of it very quickly by way of shopping, giving it away, etc. And it would only be your nervous system trying to regulate itself. That's all that will be happening. Your nervous system wants to get back to what it's familiar with. So it's going to get rid of the money and back down until you're where you're comfortable financially. Okay. This is why you probably heard about lottery winners, ending up broke in a year or something like that. So that's your normal, right? Meaning that's your current nervous system set point. That's your current thermometer point. You all have heard of this before, right? You can go get your explanation, Queen, by going to the link in my bio and putting forth the effort to read about Heal Your Witch Wound? Or do you prefer to have it spoon fed to you? Because if that's what you want, this ain't the place for you. Okay, so Buena says she's familiar with the thermostat. Okay. So when you want to orient your whole being and nervous system to where you currently are feels abnormal, and the new reality you create becomes your normal. There's a focused, committed level of work that's done. Audiobook version of what, Carolyn? So the answer is no. And I want to say about this audiobook, you do not pay attention the same with an audiobook. Why do you want an audiobook? Do you want to so you can multitask? So it's easier to listen to? Why do you want an audiobook? I'm not saying that's why you want it. That's why most people want it. You do not get it in the same with an audiobook. You don't pay attention. You're multitasking. You didn't hear half of what was said because you over here trying to cook this and then da, da, da. You finished, but did you actually get the knowledge? That's on you. Do what you want. So yeah, there's no audiobook. So and I talked about this. I'm going to reiterate it. Okay. My financial normal used to be feast or famine. I'd get money, and because I was just expecting to be in a feast or famine cycle, I would get money, then I would spend it. Like I would pay all the bills that was due. I would buy things like, let me get it now because I don't know how long I'm gonna have this money and I don't know when I'm gonna get some more money. That kind of shit. And that was my pattern, feast or famine. So I would lie. I would, people would invite me places and I'd be like, I'm busy. When I wasn't busy, I just didn't have the money. I could never make plans on things that require payments because I didn't know how am I going to be able to pay it when all of that inside of a cycle of feast or famine. That was my nervous system's normal. That was comfortable. It was familiar. It was normal. Who here is currently inside of a feast or famine pattern? That's why we have pattern on the screen. So we're talking about capacity, we're talking about pattern and how this relates to you expanding your ability to allow in more wealth in all forms. I know most people, when they say wealth, or when you hear wealth or think wealth, you think money. Let me be clear. I am not talking about just money. I mean wealthiness in mind. I mean wealthiness in your willingness to do things that are of advancement for you, making advancing decisions. So your mind operates that is wealthy. When your mind is in fear, that's poor. When your mind is looking at, well, how do I do this? That's wealthy. When your mind is skeptical and you looking for failure and you looking for a problem and that's poverty. When your mind is looking at the possibilities and what is inspiring you and what is moving you forward and what is expanding your ability, your will, that's a wealthy mind. When your mind is judging other people and look at her. Yeah, I don't know. Poverty mind. When your mind is over here like, look how she bounced back from that mistake. Wonderful. She looks so good. Wow, I'm inspired to get my eyebrow game up. What? That's wealthy. You know what? This load that I'm carrying is a lot. Who can help me carry this load? How do I get some help with this? That's wealthy. Over here, I'm the only one that can get it done. I don't trust nobody to get it done because people let you down and I ain't got time for that shit. So I just do it myself because poverty mind, poverty. The wealthy mind is saying, you know what? I don't have the money in my bank account right now, but I know this is for me. How do I create the money for that? The poverty mind is, I ain't got it. I ain't got it, girl. All that, girl, that's expensive. Ain't nobody got that kind of money. Girl, we ain't doing that over here. Girl, please. Do you have a discount? Girl, they charge you too much anyway, girl. Poverty. So when I say wealth, I don't mean just money. I mean the way you think, the way you see life, the way you see me, the way you see yourself, the way you see your days, the way you see challenges, the way you even speak about something, that a problem versus an opportunity. See, A poverty mind sees everything as a fucking problem, as the enemy, as it's just down. Everything is down and a problem, and I hate Earth, and I don't give a fuck. And a wealthy mind is saying, like, how do we flip this in our favor? How does this work for us? What's the good part about this? Like, is this working the way I'm looking at? How do I flip this? How do I consider this from another angle? That's a wealthy mind. So then when you moving through life, thank you for all those roses, Epic Winston. When you looking at life and you're making decisions and you got a poverty mind that's making the decisions, what the fuck you think your life gonna look like? You full of skepticism, doubt, you don't like yourself, everybody is a problem, you hate Earth, disconnected. What the fuck you think you're gonna create? Versus you see everything as an opportunity, you're looking for the good, you prefer to feel good. So anything that registers to you as not feeling good, you flip how you look at it so you can experience it as good. You perceive people in positive, healthy ways because that's how you look and think up here in your wealthy mind. That's how you prefer to feel. So your mind angles and orients in that direction. Then what the fuck do you think you're going to create if your mind works like that? And there's plenty of free tools for y'all to go work this out. There's plenty of YouTube videos. There's the science of getting rich. There's Think and Grow Rich. There's Feeling is the Secret. And all of this stuff is for free, either on YouTube, Amazon, Google it, all that. Okay. So the whole feeling heavy and lethargic and apathetic on that path to actually win on the path of expanding your capacity, to actually win with identifying the pattern and the root of the pattern. Like, where did this start? As I told my community member on the phone, the sincerity needs to be there. Now, her sincerity is there because this woman we're going to go live when she gets to 1,000 followers because she doesn't have 1,000 followers yet on TikTok. But this woman has made such major progress in just a month and a half being in the community. Just a month. It's just, and the reason why is because she's sincere. She's sincere. So if you're whining, I don't know if this is your reality. Very good, Katie. If your reality, okay, sincerity. If you are whining, constantly whining, you've had a certain financial normal for the last year, 2, 3, and you whine and you complain about it, that's where you actually want to be. When you are sincere about abundance, transformation, having more, expanding, you first of all, the sincerity calls in, even lack of sincerity calls in opportunities, is really about how you see it. Opportunities come in, and when you're sincere, your eye sees it as an opportunity versus seeing it as a girl, I ain't got the money for that. Then you take action on the opportunity, and then the way you treat the opportunity, you will treat it based on your level of sincerity, based on the level of your true intent. So why do I say that? Because all of you here, if you have a current financial normal and you are sincere about transforming your nervous system's comfort with normalizing double your current income, or even whatever's your number. Let's say you want your current income is 50,000 a year and you want it to be $150,000 a year. I'm excited by more, lots more, not just a little bit more. You need to be sincere about going from 50,000 to 150,000. You need to be sincere. So this is one thing I told, okay? And she is sincere, but I was just reiterating it to keep us there on an energy level. So let's bring up, and all this will connect as it always does. Let's go to patterns. Remember, I said my pattern was feast or famine, right? And when I was in that feast and famine, when I was toward the end of it, I started to whine and lament and complain a lot. I'm working so hard and I'm not making the money. Oh God, I'm just, why do I keep working so hard? And then on top of that, I didn't realize at the time how much I was disconnected from being human, being in a body, being human, being here, taking the material world serious. There weren't people like me talking like this on the internet, even not 9 years ago, not from a melanin dominant woman's perspective. Mm-mm. What we talking about? There was nobody around. Carolyn, hi. I recognize your name and your face. Remembering it is a pendulum and all connected has help. What is it? If abundance makes you think of the lack of, find the gratitude, it resolves the block. Thank you for sharing the live, Pant Prather. Yes, it is amazing. Okay. Patterns. What's your current? I'd love to hear some goals. I'd love to hear some goals. And then I want to talk about patterns. So as I'm talking, I like to see some goals in the real goals, not like just verbally goals, but goals you're actively working on. So my goal was feast or famine for a while, and I would whine a lot, like and then it got increasingly worse because my sincerity started to increase, and so I didn't realize one, the root of my pattern, two, um, how much I was this reality that because I'm in it, it was hard for me to see it, how much I was disconnected from earth. And then not realizing how much this is a capacity game, the ability to be able to hold more in your life. Okay. And so there was an exercise that I did that I found out about through a woman who was a coach at the time. She's not a money coach anymore. Her name is Monica Shaw. I think she's Indian. She looks somewhere around Indian, maybe not necessarily Indian, but somewhere around there. And I want to bring up the unconscious here because the root of all your patterns live in your unconscious mind. Okay. And for those who don't know, I told this to her today. Let's make up a name for her. Michelle. Let's say her name was Michelle, community member in the woman community. I said to Michelle, I said, um, if people really knew that the results they want, the change that they want, happens when they go into their unconscious mind, and they really took that serious, and it was prioritized, in our country, it would be in schools. People will be going to their unconscious mind before they go to prayer. Okay. uh People would, if people knew how much of what their life looks like is because of what's going on in their unconscious mind. I'm watching grown men who I can see the wars in their mind, but they're talking about it as if it's some like external, like other external reality that they got to fight against. And I'm like, this man has so much war in his unconscious mind. This is the power. So the point is, your outer world is of what's going on in your unconscious mind. A simple way of saying it, and this is an axiom of Carolyn Elliott. The axiom is this: having is evidence of wanting. Having is evidence of wanting. What do you hear when I say that? Correct. With everything. Everything. This is how the unconscious mind works. So if you want to know what you actually want, you just look around. Okay? The good and the bad. So there, since we know that having is evidence of wanting, and that the root of everything that we do unconsciously is in the unconscious mind, naturally, that means that's where we need to go when we're looking to change something at a deep level. When you're looking for radical change, you're looking for not just, I don't know, you want to start brushing your teeth twice a day now. So you, you know, but money. And again, I'm talking as a melanin dominant woman who was very disconnected from Earth, who's always been different, who never fit in. That's a very particular experience in a human body. It's a very particular experience, okay? So this may not necessarily relate to, well, whatever. A lot of people are not going to relate to what it takes, okay? So why this even matters is because there's different factors that are influencing why I'm behaving the way I'm behaving, why my capacity is what it is, why my pattern is what it is, why I experience life the way I do. Okay. So the root of the pattern needs to be found. And so you dig, you start with what you can see, your physical reality, then you have to question from a place of sincerity. So ding ding ding, why I'm reiterating why sincerity is so important. Because as I was telling Michelle, amnesia can be chosen. You can choose to not remember something that would get you free because you're not sincere about getting free. That's how the unconscious mind works. Okay. So it's like the way you like a car. So now suddenly you see the car. You guys have heard that. If you don't actually want to get free, everything you see that has the potential to get you free, you will frame it to keep you inside of the bondage that you're in, because at a heart level you actually want to stay where you are. That's how the unconscious mind works. Does that make sense? Correct, Nina. Yeah, you have what you desire. Yep, exactly, Tula, you're correct. Yeah, Jennifer, yes. Does that make sense what I just said? This is why I said to Michelle, and I'm saying to you all here, sincerity matters. Sincerity matters. You can feel when somebody is sincere, can't you? And you can feel when somebody is insincere. And what's the difference in how what they say impacts you or whatever is going? Their sincerity versus their lack of sincerity. Yeah. So you being sincere with yourself matters truly. So when I started questioning, okay, the question that was asked, and I'll ask it to you for you to ponder. And here's the thing, another thing about sincerity is that things happen very fast when you're sincere, which is why Michelle has created so much positive results in just a month and a half because she's sincere. So the question is, what are my first memories of money, good or bad? What are my first memories of money? Good or bad? Anybody here want to share? What are my first memories of money, of having, of abundance, of lack? What are my first memories of money? You need a profile photo if you're going to be here or talk here. Boom. So Jennifer said negative single mom was always stressing over lack of money. So you see how fast that came up, right? Is that your very first memory, Jennifer? People say good memories always easy. My mom used to complain that I was making her broke. Okay. That's very particular. Okay. That's very particular. So that's something you can fill into and go spend some time with, Tula. My mom used to complain. Let me just reflect this for a moment. My mom used to complain that I was making her broke. So Tula, you make your burden. I retract that. I retract that. My apologies. I should not have projected that. What story did you create as a result? You just pop that out there. What story, and the same question to Jennifer, what story did you create as a result? If you're sincere about this and you look at this and you're honest, you're going to be able to see so much of why you have lived the way you have lived over the last 30, 40 years. I'll use myself as an example. Or maybe you already get it. That's your first memory of money, Ashley? Waiting on, as a child, it was always about waiting for payday. When I was little, I thought you paid for things to smile, then learned it wasn't in the budget. What do you mean by that? You pay, like you pay money and people smile at you? Definitely have been carrying the heaviness of being a burden, taking too much. Yeah. You see how these roots go? The point of me bringing this forward is to talk about the root when you're truly looking to change at deep levels to truly create a brand, it's not necessarily brand new, but a new financial reality. And I'm talking about major change. I'm talking about major increase. While yes, this can make a difference if you just want to make an extra $500 a month, I'm excited and turned on by women who are looking to do really big things. Their version of big. Okay. That life was hard and unfair and money hard to come by without a lot of hard work. Boom, there you go. Jennifer, did you know that already? Wanting it from McDonald's, the smile was not in the budget, maybe. I don't even know what that means exactly. The smile was not in the budget. That's very particular. Seems like it could be quite interesting. So, nobody here shared their money goals that they're actively working on. Anybody want to share? So, that is an exercise that you all can go do by yourself. Tula, that just sounds like something you just want to throw out there because it tingles your pussy. Are you actively working toward that? Do you actually expect that? So, everyone here got that assignment, question to ask, and to go sit down and answer and bring it with sincerity when you sit down and do it. If you're not sincere, you know. So, that's one part of um, discovering patterns. That's why that's here up on the screen. Okay. And you can do this with so many things that you want to you're wondering that you're sincere about uncovering. Capacity. I mentioned earlier about historically, and this is something that I'll feel today, even when I am expanding my capacity, period, to show up with, uh, at this stage, it's being open to knowledge that wants to come through me that is dense, that is more so, it's moving through density. It's just so much here. And so it's me here with so many other people. And for example, a woman who I just talked to, I want her to bring this out of her mouth with us live streaming together, and she's afraid to bring it out. That's a capacity issue. And so I've had countless times over the years where I wanted to bring something out of my mouth and felt so heavy around it. So when I talk about capacity, and that's what I mean when I say wealth, I'm not talking about just money. I'm talking about the capacity to be a vessel. For those of you who are like, I want to be used. Do you really mean that? Right. For those of you who need to expand your capacity because you keep procrastinating, you don't have the energy to do whatever the thing is you want to do. That is a capacity issue. And so, and I want you to know that it doesn't necessarily get easier, you just get better with navigating such a variety of energies and sensations. And man, when you take the very thing about yourself that you ran from, the thing that makes you weird and hyper spiritual and hyper intuitive, and when you take that and actually bring it up into the light and you revere it versus trying to suppress it or isolate or cover it in anger, and the thing that I did, that so many of us did, we run and hang out on TikTok lives doing nothing. Not saying that's what you're doing, but some people do. Or whatever, delay, procrastinate, tired, hide behind stories, ideas, people, lifestyles, relationships, right? Because the truth of who we are is so locked up. And then on top of it is anger and apathy and resentment and frustration and projection. And so when you're locked up like that, you have no capacity to take action on the things that matter. You have no energy. You got all these ideas, you got drafts, you got all this, but it's locked up and you have no capacity to be open to create a steady content creation plan, to get on a wealth track, to expand your capacity to have more money, time with friends, attention, care for yourself, travel, all the things. That's a capacity issue. So what do you do about this capacity issue? Before I go on, are there any questions? mm, I see you, King's Ranch. Thank you for sharing the live. I missed so many comments. Before I go on, first of all, let me read these comments and then. Carolyn said, I have issues receiving. I feel guilty charging to help. Help with what? I want my wisdom to be helpful for a generation. Wanting to understand the capacity issue and how to overcome it. It could be, not necessarily, it could be. Okay, you're a physical. Yeah, so that's, I want to say this for everybody who's a physical medium, not just Carolyn. But anybody here, or if somebody you care about is a physical medium, that is very high level work. You cannot treat that casually, cheaply. You need to stop doing that now if you're not willing to treat that from a place of highness and great reverence. Yeah, yeah, okay? You're a physical medium. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to you to be a physical medium? What does that mean to you, Carolyn? That doesn't tell me what it means to you. Capacity. Capacity, energy. I went live yesterday with Felion, who is a metaphysicist, and we talked heavily about energy. Capacity is your ability to be with a lot of energy, a variety of energy at any given moment, but also knowing how to care for yourself when you're dealing with more than you ever have. When you're so you've discovered a pattern. Now that you've discovered the pattern and reconciled it, because there's a level of healing and reconciliation. Hold on one second. Get a little. Hold on. Now that the sun has moved, we can get a little open up. Okay, so you've hit the pattern. Okay, I gave you the exercise. You get there's more that comes up. All that you reconcile that. You really allow your body to absorb everything that comes out of that. That is expanding your capacity. This actually came up on the call with Michelle today, where she's putting money toward women in Italy, and there's the heat around it. She said her body was getting hot. There was fear around it. And she said, I'm just going to go be with all this. I'm going to go be with all this. So, whatever you're doing that you're being with, even if it's not this exercise that we just went through about uncovering your first memories of money, okay? Anything that you're doing that causes you to have more information in your system than normal. Okay? So anything, gosh, I'm just so many things are coming to mind. Remember, you're expanding your capacity, which means you're expanding what you're used to, what's normal to you. So I'm telling you now, you need to be ready to feel more than you've ever felt before. Okay? You need to be ready to feel more than you've ever felt before. So this again connects to the wealthy mind, because if your normal is to push through, if your normal is to burn out, to not take care of yourself, to ignore your body, that's a very poverty way of being with yourself. When you're focusing on expanding your wealth in your mind, you notice, okay, okay, I feel more energy in my body than normal. Let me lay down. Let me go for a walk. Okay, let me be with this. Like even when Michelle said today, this heat in my body, this fear. I'm gonna go be with this. Not like trying to push it away, or is this the right thing to do? Because you're feeling something that's new and expanding your capacity. That means what you currently can be with what you currently can allow, what you currently can have, you're expanding how much you can have, that you can process, that you can feel, that you can see, that you can handle. So, with not only doing the exercise, but with everything that you're doing right now in your life to have more, do more, and be more, everything you're doing should be bringing more energy into you or unleashing what's repressed in you. When that happens, your energy is going to expand and it's going to feel heavier than normal. You will need to lay down. You will need to go for a walk. You will need to drink water. Maybe you want to take a bath, etc. This is how one, there's so many ways to deal with capacity, but these are some of the ways that you expand your capacity. Can you see yourself in this? As a vessel, particularly as a feminine vessel, a lot of us are walking around with a lot of shame and guilt and other people's shit in our bodies. Okay? Tension in your neck, hypervigilance in your womb, sadness in your womb, anger in your womb, you know, walking around with all these emotions, apathy, that's a big one. And so, for many of us, when we feel that, if we allow ourselves to really feel it, we check out. You know, we give up, we go eat, we distract ourselves with TikTok. Mm, I'm telling you right now, excuse me, I'm telling you right now, especially if you do any of the power work, you feel drawn to the power work that I'm teaching. You feel drawn to heal your witch wound. You feel drawn to shadow gold. You feel drawn to the woman community. You got to lay down. You might even need a cocktail. After we got off yesterday's live stream, Felion went to go lay down. I laid down for a minute and then went to go get a cocktail. Listen, okay? So if you are resonating with what I'm talking about right now and you know you need a tool to reference and you want more work, more exercises to bring you down into who you are and unleash all the shit that I said is locked down that you cover in anger and resentment and shame and all that, you need to get heal your witch wound. If you are currently afraid of your power, you need to get heal your witch wound now. If your your throat chakra is locked up and you're not talking about what you really want to talk about in your content, you need to get heal your witch wound. If you know that your sexual center is an absolute essential part of your creativity, of your manifestation ability, of your capacity ability, you need to buy Heal Your Witch Wound now. You can get Heal Your Witch Wound by going to the link in my bio. It's $197. It's in the description here on YouTube. Heal Your Witch Wound. Heal Your Witch Wound. Go to the link in my bio. You can get it right now. It delivers to your inbox immediately. Who here either has content they want to create that they know is taboo, or there are parts about yourself? Go read it, Cindy. There are parts about yourself that you know are taboo. You need Heal Your Witch Wound. If you're easily offended, you need Heal Your Witch Wound. If this, what I've been talking about, capacity expanding and patterns are, you're drowning in that shit, so you're not able to manifest the way you need Heal Your Witch Wound. If you're afraid to take up space, you need Heal Your Witch Wound. If you're afraid to have grown-ass conversations with people who are draining you, you need Heal Your Witch Wound. If you're scared of showing up big in the world and you chronically play small, you need Heal Your Witch Wound. The very first exercise of Heal Your Witch Wound is all about uncovering your taboo self. The part of you that makes you undesirable, bad, wrong, scared, ashamed. and uncovering the gold in her and bringing that gold into your content, into your expression, into the conversation, the grown ass conversation you need to have with your mom, your husband, whoever else in your life is important to you or who you need to let go. If you're playing small, you need heal your witch wound. If you are hyper distracted, so much energy, you start focusing on your project that you love, that your soul calls for, but then you get distracted because then your fear gets all triggered up. You need heal your witch wound. There's an exercise in there on taking up space. That one and this taboo exercise are the two that women constantly telling me are getting them free. Constantly. Who are you not supposed to be? Who? And then bringing her alive, extracting what is golden about your undesirable self. Heal your witch wound. Go to the link in my bio. You can get it right now. You're going to love it. People buy it. I give them maybe a week or two to go through it. Always raving. Heal your witch wound. Does anybody have any questions about this content? And you can get Heal Your Witch Wound with the link in my description. Good. What's your name? Wellness Ranch. Hmm. So to get out of here, go where people are the way you want them to be. Go where people talk how you want them to talk. Go get out of here. Go where people talk how you want them to talk. They do how you want them to do. They sound and look and be gone. No questions, huh? So you got the exercise for uncovering the root of where your money pattern or any pattern really comes from. I shared with you what different things you can do that are necessary for expanding your capacity. Okay. And I offered you a tool that you have forever that's going to help you stop playing small, stop procrastinating, uncover the parts of you that you feel ashamed about, and actually find the gold in it. And that's huge for women. The way we hide. Ugh. So, anyway, the procrastination of playing small, the feeling innately wrong and bad, you know, um, which basically the modern day witch comes from that. The modern day version and the whole that got this girl talking about Wicca and men have done a fucking doozy on us, and we just getting thrown around all over the place on earth because of what men of old have done to you say witch today, and folks is all beside themselves because any woman who was an actual woman, the word witch was a catch-all phrase to demonize everything that made you powerful as a woman. So when I say heal your witch wound, it's about healing everything that patriarchy, obviously the toxic patriarchy, because there is value in a divine patriarchy. Everything that the church, men of old, and the toxic patriarchy have done to demonize the full true power of a woman. Okay? This is why Heal Your Witch Wound exists, because it's hidden at those deep parts of your power that have been demonized, that you have internalized and has you playing small, afraid, being this vastly creative being who running around here overweight because you trying to hide your power. Running around here hyper distracted because you're scared of your power. You scared of your power being wielded and expressed in the world. So you just playing small all the time, taking 10 years to do shit that you can do in 6 months, teaching your kids unwittingly how to be small and scared. This is why Heal Your Witch Wound exists. And I created it because so many women couldn't afford shadow gold. If you can afford shadow gold, you need to get shadow gold now. Everything about us has been demonized. Oh, you a herbalist? Demon. Oh, you connected to nature? Demon. Oh, you understand the body and the power and the influence you have over men? Oh, you a witch? You a Jezebel? You're a whore? Oh, you actually want to be respected and honored, and you know who you are? You stupid. You don't belong in this village. That's not of God. You belong to a man. You're a property. Yeah, heal your witch wound. Heal your witch wound. Do you want to heal it, or do you like being in pain and scared and small? Because that's programming too. Girl, this power shit is too hard. Let me go find some man to pay these bills and I'll just cater to him, because this power shit is too much. The number of women who have told me, you go to the top of my profile right now on TikTok, there's a testimonial video with Gwen who said out of her mouth, I got fat because I knew being fat would make me undesirable to men. And I would feel safer walking around the world because being in my sexual power felt like too much. She said was going on in the deep mind of a lot of women that they reject and deny. Like I said, we have all of our power and who we are down, tighten, and then we cover it with virtue. We cover it with clothes. We cover it with femininity. We cover it with this is how a woman should be. We cover it with I'm a traditional woman. We cover it with this is what's wholesome. You see what I'm saying? And we lie and we pretend because it's easier to get behind a man, do whatever you do in that relationship, than it is to actually own unapologetically your sexual power, to admit the influence you have over people, not even just men, people, when you own your sexual power. That's difficult. That's a responsibility to actually stand in your power as a woman, to be clear about what you want and what you don't want, to come online and talk about things that you know will be judged and shamed and ridiculed, and you be able to stand in it, unflinching. That's too hard. I'd rather cook and clean. That's easier. I'd rather play this submission game with men because this power thing, nah. So let me just go ahead and gain weight because I know if I'm fat, I will be undesirable to most men. She said it out of her mouth. Okay. So heal your witch wound. Heal your witch wound. Do you want to heal your witch wound? Or do you prefer to hide and play small? Because frankly, depending on what you're going for, it can be easier. I mean, I don't know. Is cooking and cleaning easier for you? I'm not even saying it's bad. I actually think a lot of women do need to go let a man tell them what to do and how to be. A lot of women. A lot of women don't want the responsibility of their power. A lot. A lot. So what do you want? You know, your witch wound, when you buy it, it delivers to your inbox immediately. I think I want to talk a little bit about women in Italy. here has been considering women in Italy. September 16th through the 24th. It's 8 days in Milan, Italy. Transformation, nurturing powerful feminine relationships, resetting. One woman says she wants to reset. She's like, if I come to Italy, it's about me resetting. Another woman wants to come have fun. She wants to do the transformational work and she wants to shop. She was like, how much money should I bring? She ready to go. Okay. She's like, girl, I'm just waiting for September, baby. I'm just waiting for September. Is this your official page? Could you say the name of your page? There's a lot of fake. This is my page. 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 Let me see. Somebody asked something about are you spiritually gifted? You said you're considering um uh women in Italy. I don't even recall your face or name. Sim, you haven't been in contact with me, so how do I know I mean, I want to talk to people who's sincere about I've talked today about sincerity, haven't I? Have you all been here to hear me talk about sincerity and the power of sincerity and how much manifestation power sincerity has? So the people who are here telling me they want to go to Women in Italy, there's nothing about you that speaks sincerity. We haven't talked. You ain't put up no money. This is the first time of any. And you've been seeing my content. I've been promoting this for a minute. Someone is asking about my wake up moment. Vanessa and I talked about this when she and I were live last week. And I told her it wasn't one moment. Like in your life, it's never just one moment, right? It's a series of moments. But the root, the source, the beginning for me at least, after being born this way, was when I checked out as a teenager. And a memory is coming to mind right now when I used to smoke weed when I was a teenager. And I'm from Hunters Point in San Francisco. The first 8-ish years of my life, I lived in Potrero Hill. Anybody here know Potrero Hill? I know people don't think of ghettos when they think of San Francisco, but San Francisco most definitely has ghettos, okay? So the first 8 years of my life, approximately, I lived in Potrero Hill, which is a ghetto. And then when I was about 8, we moved to Hunters Point, which is another ghetto. Many parts of both Potrero have been gentrified, so it definitely is not looking now the way it did when I was there. But in Hunters Point, there's an opera house, and there's a Third and Newcomb. If you know Hunters Point, you know what I'm talking about. Third and Newcomb is where all the young people, or just people in the neighborhood, we hung out. It's where drug dealers hung out. It's where, you know how hood culture, right? It's like the spots that everybody drive through because we know everybody there, or people gonna be there, right? So we were in the center where the opera house is, and on the weekends it was always happening, busy, everybody around, talking, laughing, drinking, smoking, hanging out, that. And I remember being high one day. I think I was 15, sitting on the opera house steps, and it was just a busy weekend. A bunch of us was out there hanging out. And I remember I had a moment of lucidity. I'm high on weed. I remember I had a moment of lucidity sitting on the stairs. And I remember being like, it's so much more to this. is so much more to this. And it was like, it was a moment of like coming present, and it was a connection. And then it disconnected, and then boom, there I was back there just sitting there, just sitting there. You know what I mean? So that's one of many moments of wake up and just awareness of who I am. Well, this has been great to be here with you. It actually worked out where the sun has set or setting, so the lighting has shifted, and it's about time for me to go. This is your last call for questions, good questions, and I know this has been valuable for some people, and I'm glad about that. Heal your witch wound. You need to get that. If you need to create content, that's a big one right there. A lot of women are just going in circles and spiraling around creating their content because their voice is locked up. Um, they're scared of judgment, losing the job. You know, it's less about even losing the job though. They're just really scared of just the consequence of things because they're not really in their body. They're not solid in who they are and the value of their taboo selves. They're much more connected with fear than they are with the gold of their taboo selves. So you need to get heal your witch wound. I'm telling you, that's it. You're saying you love this, you want that, you need this, and all that. If your money funny, you need to get heal your witch wound. You know, Michelle and I talked about today collapsing time. You want to collapse time? Because she had this goal that she was talking about for 5 years. And I'm like, how did you come up with 5 years? I said, how about in the next year and a half? And she was like, oh my God. And she felt the collapsing just from me saying that, and then stepped into a decision and said, okay, I'm gonna put money with this to bring it into now. It's not like, let me wait until no, I'm collapsing time by putting money on this now. Calling it, you're saying yes. Like, how do you know you mean yes? Okay. And you don't just put the money as if somehow that activates your yes, but it's like, I'm sincere. When you're sincere, sincerity is a big part, right? It's like true intent. What's your true intent? You can't trick the universe. You can't trick. Who's getting heal your wish room right now? Who's getting it right now? Sin, you need to go buy heal your witch room. You've been here quite a bit. You should have been spent money with me. Or do you just like hanging out and talking about, I ain't got it, girl. My life is shaggy, girl. You want to keep it there? You like it? Or do you want to advance quickly? Or do you want to advance quickly? Huh? Or do you want to advance quickly, darling? Or do you want to advance quickly? Hi, Nancy. Oh, good. That's super cool. I wonder what that was. Oh, how awesome is that? Where are you located? Super awesome. Wow. That feels so wow. Jennifer said I am next week. Jennifer, your profile photo is familiar. I'm gonna hold you to it, Jennifer. If you want me to, at least. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Thank you for being here.